All right, new bike day. First thing I like to do when I get a new bike is cut the straps off here with my side cutters and pull the staples out so I don't scratch myself or my new bike. Here we have it. It's the Yoji 14-inch wheel in electro pink. Look at that. Sick. So we'll remove the packaging. And we'll just put all this packaging aside in the box. We can recycle it after. We've taken great care to make sure the bike's not damaged or scratched during shipping. Once you have all this off, just give the bike a good once over and make sure everything's in good condition before continuing. First, we're going to install the handlebar into the stem. So using a 4mm, we'll take the faceplate off. So here, we're just gonna snug these 4 bolts up, just so they're snug enough that we can position the bar, and then we'll tighten them down. Make sure you pay close attention that we leave an equal gap on the top of the faceplate as we do on the bottom, just so it's distributing pressure evenly. And center the bar, and a good place to start with alignment is to have the bar line up with the fork. And so now we're ready to snug everything up. Just equal pressure and build the pressure up, moving from bolt to bolt in a cross pattern. 5 Newton meters to set that. Then we'll set the stem angle. And again, tightening these, alternating. One snug, snug, just back and forth until you've got it up to 5 Newton meters of pressure. Next, we're going to install the front brake cable into the front brake lever. We need to start by using our 5mm Allen wrench, and we're going to loosen the pinch bolt on the cable to give us some freedom here. Pull out some slack and insert the cable head into the brake lever. And then once you've lined up all the slots on the barrel adjusters, there's 1, 2, 3 to line up, we can pull this cable through and it sets right back in. We'll concentrate on tightening that back down once we have the brake pads set up. Next, we'll install the front wheel. Loosen off the axle nuts. And ensuring the wheel's fully bottomed out in the dropouts of the fork, we'll snug those up by hand. And then we'll get our 15mm wrench and tighten these down here so they're nice and snug. Now what we want to do is align the brake pads with the rim. So again, using our 5mm Allen wrench, we're going to loosen off the mount bolt on the brake pad and paying close attention that we don't let the brake pad touch the rubber of the tire, and it's only contacting the sidewall of the rim and the braking surface. We'll snug those down. Install the brake noodle, make sure it's fully bottomed out, the boot, and then we'll pull our cable tension and snug up the pinch bolt on that cable. Just do it snug so we can test first to make sure we've got some movement. We want to make sure that the brake pads are able to come off and they're not dragging, it's not too tight. So we can back off that cable pressure there a bit and tighten. Next, using a flathead or a Phillips screwdriver, we're going to adjust the spring tension so that both brake pads are pulling off the wheel. As you can see here, only one's moving. So either by increasing the spring tension here by threading in the brake adjuster bolt or by loosening off the other. We can balance spring tension. Don't get frustrated if it made it look too easy here on film. If you're having trouble with the brake, I would really suggest just take it down to your local bike shop and let them adjust it for you. Next step, we'll thread in the pedals. A little bit of grease on the threads. And let's pay close attention that we put the left pedal on the left side of the bike and the right pedal on the right side of the bike. They're marked on the end of the axle, L and R. The left side is a left-hand thread, meaning it threads in counterclockwise, which is the opposite of what you'd expect. Okay, you can either use a 15 mil open end wrench to tighten those up, or a 6 mil on the inside of the axle. Last but not least, just a bolt check over the bike, check all the bolts, and then we'll drop it down and set up the seat. Just double checking the stem. Check the brake pads. And again, we're just inspecting them to make sure they're not going to touch the rubber of the tires and the axle nut.
Okay, we'll remove the valve cap and we'll set the pressure to starting pressure of about 20 psi. Do the same for the rear.
Using our 6 mil Allen wrench, we can loosen off the saddle and set it nice and flat. And then the quick release. In the US, you'll be shipped with a longer seat post for consumer protection laws, as well as a full plastic chain protection. So just be aware that your bike may differ than what you see here in the video. A couple things I'd like to mention and point out about this bike that make a big difference for me as a parent. It's a very light frame. We've got hollow steel spindles and axles, which cut the weight considerably. We've got our pivotal seat post here, so we can drop the saddle much lower than most bikes could. Stem and bar height, we've added steer length and 15 mil spacers, so we can adjust the overall handlebar height. As well, this stem you can flip-flop, and so we've got well over an inch of height that we can play with here. Ultra low durometer grips, very soft, the best kids grip I've seen, as well as a nice heavy duty bar end plug that won't just pop out. That's a safety concern, making sure we keep that bar plugged. And the drivetrain, it's a proper race BMX hub with a Shimano free hub and tooling, so you can change the gearing easily. 64 mil BCD on the chainring with an actual metal, not a plastic, but a metal chain guard there, so we can change the gearing to suit your needs in your home track. Pretty wild. Okay, bike's all wrapped up. And remember, pink's not for girls and neither are pinky curls.